This is going to be an episode built for the woman who already has a business. Like, she's very successful. She has the track record. She has clients. She has credibility. She has people understanding like what she does and why she does it. Like, no one's questioning from her content alone. Like, what exactly do you do? So she is quote unquote successful. She's been doing this for a while and she still wants to grow and scale. Of course, that never ends. But somewhere along the way, she decided that content, like understanding content or getting coached on her content, is beneath her. And I can't wait to have this conversation because I'm not going to argue with that stance. But I am going to ask this woman something in particular. So if that's you listening, I'm asking you this question. If I were to ask you, what is your goal, your vision for your business, and you were to tell me, I want new people coming in, like I want strong retention, but I also want to build something where like new people are finding me and I want to become more visible. Like I want people to see me for my genius. I want my reputation to be really strong for my genius. I don't want to just have to sell all the time. I want it to feel effortless. Also, by the way, 99% of women are telling me that they want that. That's where this is coming from. And so then if I were to ask you, okay, what are you doing right now in your business to accomplish that goal? Like, what are you working towards? If the next answer from you is you're getting ready to hire a team to run ads for you, or you're getting ready to hire a setter and a closer to do your sales calls, or you're getting ready to, hire a VA who like you have the ideation of your content, but they put your content together and they post it and like finalize it. There's nothing wrong with any of those things, truly. I mean, personally, I wouldn't be doing those things, but also at the same time, let's just talk. Let's just like get honest. Let's get real for a minute. Those ads that you're getting ready to run or have somebody run for you, what do they run on? Like truly, let me just give you a minute. What do the ads run on? They run on your content. When you have those cold leads, when you have new people finding you, and they find you, let's say from your ad, or maybe even from like a referral, what are they going to look at before they ever book a call with you or ever even talk to your setter in your DMs, or before they even send you a DM? Where are they going? They're going straight to vet you through your content. The authority that you've spent years building lives or dies by whether your content actually reflects who you are. So you're at a point where it's like very obvious of what you do. You don't have to keep like adjusting your messaging or getting better at marketing even. Like at this point for you, people have no idea who you are, and that's why you're not cutting through the noise. And you called that a nice to have. Like you called that like, I don't, if I were to choose between a business owner and a business coach and a content coach, you would probably choose the business coach. And here's what I want you to know is like content is the business. Content is the business first and foremost, especially with what we do in this space. Like your content determines everything. Content is not below anything in your business. In fact, I would go as far to say like content is underneath everything. Content is what is like the gasoline to the car. The car is not going to run without the content being the right type of gasoline. So in my opinion, even if you were to hire the business coach over the content coach, what makes the business coach worth hiring at that level? Her content. You hired the business coach because of her content. And then let's talk about, if you have a referral coming in and you want the referral to convert instead of ghost you, what are they going to look at first? They're going to look at your content. What makes the right person coming to you, following you, like getting ready to sign up for your leadership and your mentorship? What makes the right person, not just anyone, but the right person, find you and immediately know you're exactly who they've been looking for? Not the ads, first of all. It's not your ads. It's not your title in your bio. It's not your link tree. It's not the offer. It's the freaking content. So at any level, it's not about posting more. Like that's not what I'm talking about here. It's about you learning the skill set of becoming visible as exactly who you are for your genius, so that people who are already looking for you, they don't know they're looking for you yet, but when they find you, they know like you're exactly who they are looking for. That's not a nice to have. Like that's the whole thing. So let's get into this because I just want to make this distinction that I would say changes the way that you think about content entirely. And that is the difference between like growing a following and having an obsessed audience. And when I say obsessed audience, I think it's like at surface level, you can kind of understand what I'm saying. But at its core, it's so funny because I've noticed like a lot of people are starting to say obsessed audience. And I'm not saying they're copying me. I think it's like, it's just a phrase that we use. No one, I feel like until you get into my world or until you've listened to enough podcasts or watched enough of my videos, like you don't really understand what I'm saying by obsessed audience. Like there's a lot of depth. There's a lot of nuance to obsessed audience. A following is your numbers. It's like people are following you. Cool. Like they're in your audience. An obsessed audience would be people who are waiting for you. Like people who hear your voice in their head when they're not even watching your content. They hear your voice in their head when they're making a decision. They're not just consuming your content. They're not just fans of you. They act on what you post. They DM you about it. They buy from you not because they were convinced by your marketing, but because they're hiring you because you were the obvious next move for them. And so if you've been creating content and you have this audience that does watch you and consumes, but they don't really like convert. Like if I were to ask you, like if you were to launch let's say even like a freebie, it's free. Okay. It's $0. Let's just play that game for a minute. If I were to ask you, okay, let's launch a freebie tomorrow. Would you have hundreds? I'm not talking like a cute 50 people. I'm talking hundreds, depending on your audience. Like, do you have hundreds of people? If you're making multi-six figures and you don't have hundreds of people coming from your audience into a freebie, you don't have the visibility that you think you have. You do need to focus on content. Like you don't have a pool of hot leads ready to ride or die for you. That is again, you want your business to scale and you're willing to pay the most on ads, yet you're not willing to focus on organic content. That's so confusing to me. So I want to get into like, there's a system here because this is not about just, okay, let's go post content that makes people fall in love with me. There's a strategic system of what to post to get people to fall in love with you for all the right reasons. And I want to talk about 4 specific questions, which would go hand in hand with what I call the core 4. And I teach this inside of the Evolution Content Membership, where you get in-depth, formulas and frameworks and teachings on these core 4 posts. But these 4 questions go hand in hand with that. So I'm going to give you these on this episode because every single person that lands on your content is unconsciously asking these questions. They don't realize they are, but they are. And this is what I call scroller psychology. It's very important. This is like they're feeling for these answers when they're watching you, and most content, I would say, doesn't answer any of these. If that, it only answers one of these questions. And we want to get you to the point where you master this, and that takes some time. Like again, content coaching to me is for high level people. Like you getting coached on content in my world is not about you learning how to create just like a hook. It's not about you learning how to like you're posting your strategy and your like what you should be saying. Like it's so much deeper than that. And when I say that, I mean, we want to get you to be able to answer all 4 questions in one post. And that's the ultimate goal. So if everyone who finds your content, whether it's your first video that they've ever seen or it's your 100th video that they've seen, if they're running like this unconscious audit, then we need to know what that audit is. And so it starts with, there's 4 questions. Do I like you? Do I trust you? Do I want to be you? And can you actually help me? Okay. So again, we're not even in the business of like just getting visible to get visible. Even if you're an influencer listening to this is applicable to you. You need to answer all 4 of these questions. So you're not checking these things off a list as you go to create your content. I want to be very clear about this. None of this is robotic. But when people are watching you, they're feeling for these things. Like, is this a yes? Is this a no on every single post? That's how serious this is. And when they trigger a no, or even like an I don't know, that's a scroll. They're scrolling past you. You do nothing for them. There's no answering of like, what's in it for me? Then they're scrolling. You get ignored, and you're not building that audience like I talked about, where you would have the luxury of tomorrow you want to get more people on your email list, launching a freebie, and hundreds of people join at the click of a button. So I'm going to walk you through what each of these questions actually requires. And then I want to tell you where most people go wrong. Okay. So I don't know how long this episode is going to be. I clearly love to yap, which by the way, the Yap and Snap challenge is so freaking fun. If you guys haven't joined the Yap and Snap challenge, I'm going to drop the link for that in the show notes. You need to get your cute booty inside of the Yap and Snap challenge. It's honestly so fun. And I'm watching the improvement of these women skyrocket. I don't know what day we're on, like day 17. Like we're just halfway through, and the improvement in their yaps is crazy. I've even noticed like some of these girls are getting comments in their comment section where people are asking like, how do I work with you? Like, do you have any offers right now that would be good for me? Like, I had a lot of people say they've signed a new client. I've had a lot of people, one girl is going viral right now. Like it is a place to be. So if you haven't signed up for the Yap and Snap challenge, you need to sign up for that. Again, I'll drop the link in the show notes here, and you just get started from day one. Okay. So you're not behind, even though this was run live, you're not behind. Just get started from day one and hold yourself accountable. And then everything, when you drop your post after it's been posted, I'm still watching all of those regardless of when you start. And I'm going and I'm liking them, and I just want to watch you freaking shine. Okay. Question number 1. Do I like you? This first question is a personality question. Do I like you? And this does not mean, let me just be very clear, like liking someone doesn't mean that you agree with everything that they say. Like think about the people that you really like. You're not always in agreement with them. So don't hear me clearly when I say that. You're not going to become a people pleaser because I'm telling you that you need to be liked. It also doesn't mean that your content is like perfectly curated. Okay. What it does mean is basically like in order to get someone to like you, they have to feel something when you show up. They have to feel something from you. That's truly the code. So this gets answered through, first and foremost, your come with me energy while still remaining like the leader. So come with me instead of look at me. And that can be portrayed in many different ways. Again, we would work together to pull this out of you because everyone's different. Like not everyone is going to be able to put this on the same way. You have a very specific way, which I have a whole process of how I would rip this out of you, and we could double down on it. But for some examples, this could come across in the way that you talk to your phone. Like if you're doing a yap and you're recording yourself talking, if you're coming across like in very natural tonality, people are going to like you more. Like truly. One of the best things I ever did in my content was like change my tone. And again, I will say like that happened with practice. It didn't happen overnight. Another way that you could do this is like applying humor. Like my type of humor is very dorky, like very sarcastic. Like I'm not like a ha-ha type of humor. I think that's another really good question for you to ask yourself is what is your sense of humor? Like what is the kind that would leak out of you even if you're trying to be serious? And when you're able to show those reactions in real time or like human moments, not just the highlight reel, not just like the perfect moments, when you're able to pull out those other like raw, funny moments, that's going to help you become likable. So with this one, the mistake that I see female creators, like female founders and thought leaders making here is really like, because this is not like being likable, like, know, and trust is one of the oldest, things in the book. So I didn't create like, know, and trust. I created these questions for my people, but we've all been told like being likable is important, even from a young age, like societal pressures is like, we just feel that. And so the mistake that I see though is women trying to be likable instead of trying to be present. It's like you are worthy enough of being likable just as you are, instead of trying to curate likability, if that makes sense. Presence, like your ability to be present in who you are, embodied in who you are, which again, we would have to pull out what that is. If you don't know what that is, we need to work together. But your presence is extremely magnetic just as it is. The woman who is just like chatting to her phone, she's out on a walk, maybe she's like at her desk, like whatever, she's mid-thought, like that's way more compelling than the woman who has prepared to be likable. You cannot manufacture this one. Like you just can't. There's no reverse engineering it. There's no like, help me become more likable. Dude, I'm telling you right now, you are likable just the way you are. You just haven't learned you haven't been taught how to lean into that. And you can only show up as actually yourself and trust that the right people will feel something from you when you tap into this. So what I want you to understand about this question in particular is like the people who will eventually pay you thousands of dollars straight from your content, by the way, they have already decided that they liked you before they ever clicked. on your link in bio or clicked to buy your offer? This is the question that always gets answered first. Okay, so it's really important. And again, this is part of the core 4 strategy that I teach you, where all of your content works together to grow your brand. All right, question number 2. Do I trust you? So if the second question is trust, and trust is very different from like, okay? Trust is very different from likability. I can like someone and still not trust them, which is quite common for me. Probably you guys too. I don't feel like we're that different in that regard, but it takes a lot for me to trust someone, especially straight from content, because now I've been in the game long enough to know, like, I don't know, I see through the lines. I see through people very quickly, and I hope you do too. But when we talk about trust straight from content, that's built through something so specific. I don't know how to say this, but it's like built through evidence of what you've actually lived, and it cost you something. So being trustworthy, like I'm not talking like just dump all your struggles, but you have earned some sort of perspective. And this is not just like what you know. Okay, so I think that's where like I see a lot of women do this in the incorrect way of like, well, like I want to stay positive, or I want to stay optimistic. I want to stay like high level. I want to be seen as the authority. So you spit like what you know, and you're missing the boat. This is your earned. This is what is going to make you be perceived. Like I'm telling you right now, perceived as a freaking genius. And when people feel like, oh my gosh, I've never heard it that way, that is when you're going to get hired like so fast. The examples of this is like, you could give transparency about the real process of like, what it takes, not just the wins, not just like the result, but like the messy parts, the messy middle. And the moment you stop pretending like it's easy, like the moment that you actually give away your best frameworks, like your best, this is what I call anti-gatekeeping. Give away your best thinking, give away your best tools. Value, 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 value. And I'm not talking about through education. That's totally different. Education, in my opinion, is very important, but only with this lens. If you do this, if you're educating and you're gatekeeping with a paywall, there's a reason you're not getting hired by the masses. There's a reason why you're also not getting engagement from the masses. We can tell that you're holding back on us, and no one likes that. We can tell that you're trying to sell us. You're trying to convince us, and that's giving the ick, truly. That is pick me energy. And so with this one, you kind of need to understand, like, real trust is built by proving that you're not holding back, almost. And this is so layered. This is why it's really important that you come into my world at some level, because I teach you all of this. But it's so layered because you can't be an anti-gatekeeper until you know what the F you do. And that comes from your IP engine. And if you've listened to any other episodes, you know exactly what that is. But with this like question of, do I trust you? There's also like the time element to this. And it's very important that you capture this in your brain. Trust cannot be calculated or manufactured from just a single post. This is built through the accumulation of you showing up the same way over and over and over again until you have your content should reflect a body of work. This is your legacy, dude. Like, this is your content is its own proof. So someone who found you yesterday can scroll back through your content, binge your content, and realize to themselves, oh, she's been saying this for months. Like, she's not performing this. Like, she lives this shit. Like, this is serious to her. Like, she's so good at this. That feeling creates trust. So the creators who have this audience, obsessed audience, full of people who want to be led by the creator herself, it's because if you look at what they're posting, they're not gatekeeping. And they really truly are brilliant. And I don't feel like I even have to coach you on that. Like, you're listening to this and you're like, I know I'm brilliant. I know I'm really good at what I do. Great. Check the box. We need to translate that into your content. And it's not by convincing or trying to prove anyone of that. It's not a certain way of quote unquote messaging. It's you being your real ass self in your content. And people who have this, they gave these things away before anyone was watching them. Like they didn't wait until they had the people in their following. They're genuine. They're like genuinely generous. That's a tongue twister. Genuinely generous human beings. And that's exactly what made people want to pay them. I think there's like a law. I think it's like law of this. I could be butchering this, but if I do recall, it's like law of reciprocity, which again, you can't manipulate this. Just understand that there is a law that exists that when you give in content, in life in general, like when you give, people automatically feel like almost indebted to you. And again, this is not manipulation. It just is the way it is. And they want more of that. And they also want to give back to you. Like the support goes in return. Okay. So don't take that to an extreme. Do not overthink that. The whole point of me telling you that is you are holding back in your content right now. And it's why it's like costing you the trust of your audience. All right. Question number 3. This one is they're all so important, goodness, but this one is so important. And the question is, do I want to be you? Okay. You've all heard the saying of like, take advice from someone that you would trade places with. This is that question. All right. The third question is, do I want to be you? This is the one that I would say gets skipped all the time. Like this is the one that I feel like is always left on the table. It's not, women do not for some reason in this space understand how to put this into their content for many different reasons. Like there's so many layers to this, but I feel like there's a multitude of like, I've worked with a lot of women who have quite literally confessed to me that they have been conditioned their entire life to be quote unquote humble. So this question is really tough for them. This part of the core 4 strategy is tough for them because they don't want to come across as like cocky or egotistical or conceited or arrogant. And that is not what we're doing here, like at all. This is you giving your audience proof of possibility and believing in your audience. That's all it is. Like you're believing in them enough to know that they're capable of what you've accomplished. So this is one of the most powerful conversion levers, in my opinion, from content alone. And conversion, again, could be new followers. It could be it could be a comment. It could be them sliding into your DMs, or it could be them just going straight into your link in bio and buying from you at any price point. So the question is, do I want to be you? Which could also be, do I want to be like you? Like, again, we're not being creepy here. It's like, do I want to be like you? Do I aspire to be like you? It's that sort of vibe. And again, I want you to know this does not come from, look at my results. Like I don't know, you guys probably don't think this deeply about my content when you watch it or even listen to my episodes. Everything I do is extremely intentional and there's signs everywhere. I am intentionally not talking about results right now, not even of my clients' results. Like I do sometimes because I get so excited, but I'm testing my own play right now. I'm not talking specifically about results in my content because I'm testing this and it's freaking blowing my mind. Yes, talking about results is important, very important. And it's also important that you are a person that gets results. Like if you can't back up what you're saying, then that's a whole other problem entirely. But again, I'm not speaking to that woman. If you are only relying on your results to convert people, there's a reason why people come into your world and they're not your ideal client and they complain or like they don't do the work. So when I'm saying this question is not about look at me, look at my results, look at my clients' results. Again, very important to have proof of concept. But results that I'm speaking of is the emotional experience of being you. I don't know how to get so much deeper on this without like a 30-minute masterclass moving forward. Again, all of these trainings live in my world. So enter at any level, you're going to get a glimpse of this. This is especially trained on though in the Evolution Content Membership. But to go back to what we're talking about, this is like the way that you carry yourself. This is unspoken energy, truly. You cannot pretend this. You cannot force this. You cannot fake this. This is the standards that you hold for yourself, for your life, without apology. This is the way that you move through your life, through your business, through your brand, through your relationships. This is the version of the woman that you have decided to be. That is what we're looking at when we're asking ourselves, do I want to be like you? So again, it's like I know a lot of women who are making crazy amounts of money or getting crazy amounts of engagement on their content. And I think to myself, like, that's cool for them. Those results are cool, but I wouldn't trade places with them. So I'm not going to listen to their advice. Again, However, if those same women was someone representing themselves as like who I would want to be in my future self, and they had those results, I'm hiring them without a doubt. There's no question in my mind. So you see how results are secondary to what I'm talking about here. When someone watches you and something inside of them thinks like, oh, I want to move like that. Like that is aspiration content working at its finest. And that's not about flexing. That's not about like, trying to convince anyone or prove anything or like, whatever your niche is, it doesn't matter. In my world, that would be someone flaunting their income claims or their virality, like whatever that looks like. In your world, if you're a fitness coach, that could be like always talking about the weight loss or always talking about the PR. Again, this goes for all different niches. That's not what I'm talking about. This is about being the thing, being the identity version of this person so freaking visibly, so unapologetically, that she can see herself in it because she knows that she's capable of that and she wants that for herself. And this is what I call icon identity, combined with the elevated woman. These are all different things that I teach in my world. But this is what I talk about when I'm saying be the freaking star of your own social media. Like you are the shining star. This is shining star status. The creator who has this doesn't have to convince people of her coaching at all. They watch her and they want to be more like her. And the call to action, the CTA, doesn't freaking matter at that point. Like the audience was sold long before they even clicked the link. Fuck a sales page. They don't need it. Like they're like, I just need to be around this woman. I need to learn everything from her. And you build this. First of all, you put this into your content. You don't even build this by knowing who the F you are and who you're deciding to be. And not waiting until you've arrived at that, but showing, like owning exactly who you are right now and knowing that you're always going to evolve. And that identity through the content does not come from explaining it. All right. Question number 4. The question is, can you actually help me? So the fourth question is, this is an expertise question. And again, it's very important for me as a content coach. This is why I feel like the term content coach, it does a disservice to me, but I'm okay with being misunderstood. Like the right people, I'm going to blow their freaking mind. But when we talk about your expertise, like you need to have an expertise. You need to be an expert. Even if you're still figuring it out, whatever it is that you're bringing forward, you better be damn good at that thing. Yes, you're going to continue to evolve. Yes, you're going to keep getting better. No, you do not have to have the entire kitchen sink at first. But you need to know what you do, or else your messaging, your content is going to flop because it's not going to make sense. So the first thing that you would work on in my world is this, to be honest with you, along with your identity, which we would have conversations on. But this question of, can you actually help me? Like, I would say a lot of people are, especially at your level of being successful, like you're probably answering this question, to be honest. I do think there's more we can add to it. But at its surface level, like if we were to go to elementary school, this would be where you teach like the teaching content, the frameworks, the, like here's what I walk you through type stuff. And then the university level, like let's go like doctorate level, is your ability to take all of those things, the teaching, the frameworks, et cetera, and now you become a diagnostician of very micro-specific problems, and you put that specificity of understanding her world so precisely that she feels completely seen from just your content. The power here is magical. And this is valuable content. This is when people tell you like you need to add more value, I would assume, I don't think people think about this as deeply as I do, but I would assume this is what they're talking about. And I'm not telling you to stop creating valuable content the way you're creating it, but I am telling you pay attention and get better. Like notice to yourself, like this is the only question that most people at my level are probably answering. And so every single post, I need to be working on refining it. Every single post, there's a lesson in it. Every single video is a teaching moment. Every single caption is value, value, value. Like I just want to think it's like, instead of thinking to yourself, how is this piece of content performing? I want you to think to yourself, like, how much impact can I make with this one post? And that's going to require you to think about content differently. That's why I'm like, I don't understand why we're putting content on the back burner here. Like if you can do this in your content, you own the freaking world. It's like when you are constantly thinking about how is this post performing versus how much impact can I make, that's when you do get the like, oh, I love your content, but then they don't buy type thing. You want the, oh my gosh, I love your content. I can't waste a single second not joining you. And it's like, yeah, people are going to like your content still. They're going to feel like they got value from it, but they might save it and then never come back to it. And they still don't know if they like you yet. And they still don't know if they trust you yet. And they still don't know if they want to be you yet. And that's why all of these 4 things are so crucial to the overall puzzle. So I do feel like the industry is making the mistake that content isn't costing you as much as it's costing you. I know there's a huge focus on content. I know there's a lot of social media gurus and coaches, but if I were to compare what they're doing versus what needs to be done, it's like we don't need to focus on like you don't need a strategy of here you need to post this many times a week. You don't need that. Like you're so beyond that. You don't need to be told like here you need to do 5 to 7 second B-rolls and you need to put all this text over the screen and you need to click like you need to keep up with the trending sounds. Like fuck that. I can't stand that advice. That will work for you for about 24 hours. And then you'll be so burnt out and you'll be like, okay, but it's still not bringing people into my world. Like what am I missing here? And it's everything I just coached you on. It's like give value, teach, show your expertise. Oh, expertise. Expertise. Position yourself as the expert. And that's what you've done so far. You think that you've done that. And so you've built an audience of people who appreciate your knowledge, but then they don't buy from you. And it's like, okay, well, you're missing these other things. Like you've been told it's your niche. You've been told it's your price point. You've been told it's your offer. You've been told to adjust everything at the wrong layer. And the issue is that you've only been answering probably one of those questions, if any, and you're leaving 3 questions unanswered. And that's the entire, if you want a content strategy, that's the freaking content strategy. Get good at those things. And that is everything that I will teach you inside of my spaces. That's the only thing that I care about is that you become likable, you become trustworthy, you have an expertise as a freaking brilliant genius woman, and then you can describe how you help people without sounding like everyone else. So if you were to pull up your last, let's say, 5 posts, okay, not your whole feed. Another one of my sayings is like, you're only as good as your last post. And if I were to look at your one last post, like, does it represent the power that you have? If no, then like, okay, you need a content coach. But again, I digress. You're not looking at your whole feed for this little exercise. Just the last 5 posts. I want you to ask yourself, which of the 4 questions does each one of those posts answer? There's never this question in my world, is this good content? Like I will never, if you ask me like, is this a good post? I will be like, what? What did you just ask me? Like it's not good or bad. We are being strategic. What is your content doing for you? It should be doing the heavy lifting for you and it should be answering these 4 questions. Do I like you? Do I trust you? Do I want to be you? And can you help me? So go back and analyze your own content and see where you answer those questions in your last, let's do 4 posts, not 5, 4. Because again, it's even like if I'm going to someone's page, like I'm not even scrolling, like I'm looking at the most recent posts. So we want to make sure that, again, you're continuously refining. This is why I have no problem posting every day. Like people who tell you that you don't need to post every day, run. Yes, you do. Yes, you freaking do. Posting is also not just so that you get attract people into your world. That's another misconception. Like you're not just posting content to get visible or to attract people into your world. You're posting content to get better at articulating what you do and coaching and leadership and like power presence. Like we're missing the boat here. Also, why is it taking you hours to create content? It shouldn't take you that long. So what you'll probably find when you go look at those 4 posts is that you're not answering these questions. You're not. And I want you to grade yourself as a critic from like out of body experience. And this is like all tackling the question of like, well, would I stop the scroll on my content? Would I hire me? Would I be pulled into my world? And that's going to tell you exactly what your content body of work is missing. And you don't need to answer all 4 in every video, but the goal is to eventually answer all 4 in every single video. And over time, your content will be your body of work, your legacy. And I want you to imagine, like, if you have children or if you want to have children one day, or let's say you don't want to have children, that's fine too. But 10 years from now, the people around you that are most important to you are going to look back at your content. What are they going to think? Are they going to think like, oh my gosh, she was so desperate to like make sales, or like, this doesn't even make sense. Like, she's not even being herself. Or are they going to be like, damn, you were smart. Like, damn, you were interesting. Damn, you were really like obsessed with this. You were really passionate about this. And again, that vibe is not just for 10 years from now to look back on it, but that vibe is what creates this cult-like community where people buy anything from you. They are ride or die. And when you create with intentionality like this, knowing which question you're building with or posting with, everything will change. Everything, your entire presence and reputation and business growth will shift into what you want it to look like. The momentum will feel freaking overwhelming. You'll almost be like, maybe I need to like not post so much. You will get to that point. I'm at that point right now where I'm like, every single post is bringing new people in and it's overwhelming. And I'm like, do I even have the bandwidth to hold this? I need to hire somebody. I need to hire more people. Like, that's what I want for you. Instead of like a crowd of watchers or like people who are just like, oh, there she goes. She's just posting her post again. It becomes a room full of people who are obsessed with you, obsessed with what you do, a room full of people that want to buy from you. All right. So I don't want you to like leave with this episode with 4 questions and no idea what it takes to answer them. So I want you, you can listen to this episode as many times as you want to. I would definitely advise that you take notes. This is me like demonstrating anti-gatekeeping at its finest, but this is just the surface of what I'm going to teach you when you enter my world. And I don't have to convince you of that. Like, this is just, I'm giving this to you because we have so much more work to do. So get started on this and then hire me so that we can double down on what you learned here and where you're taking this. You are meant to be a shining freaking star. You are meant to take over the world. You are meant to step into this takeover season and get so in your own freaking lane, get so successful that you don't even question failure ever again. Like, it's not an option. Like, you don't question, do I need to have ads? Ads become optional. Like, sure, I'll turn ads on and you don't have to create anything for me because I already have content doing it for me. So if you've been creating content and you're like, geez, this is not working in the way that I want it to, like maybe I need to hire someone for ads, or like maybe I need a setter and a closer and like all this bullshit. You can have those things, but why would you lead with that when you already know what is missing entirely? And it's this. All right. So I don't even know which offers I mentioned in this episode. I can't remember. I think it was the Evolution Content Membership, and I believe I talked about the Yap and Snap. So I'm going to drop those links in the show notes below. If you ever have any questions, though, about my work, about which container is best for you, you can always DM me. I am an open book, and my DMs are popping right now. So if I don't get back to you right away, I will within 24 hours. That's always my goal. I block time to respond to my DMs these days, which is really fun. I love talking to you guys. So if you have any questions and you're like, where do I fit? Like, what's the best offer for me considering, where I'm at in my business, in my brand, in my content, in my vision, then I'm open and I'm down for that conversation, and we can figure out the perfect path for you so that you can, get to work doing the right things. Man, I just looked at the time. My goal for this was a 20-minute episode. I don't know why I always do that, but all right, 40 minutes in, and I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here. If you are listening to this episode and it was helpful, I would love it if you could share it with someone, or if at least just drop a 5-star review. That really like helps me understand that you guys are here and enjoying this, and I would want to keep creating for you. So I love you so much, and I will see you next week. Mwah.